Good evening, class. In the New York Times article, Finding Your Voice, Christopher Beha tells us that good writing emerges from discovery. If you begin with uncertainty, possibilities will certainly present themselves, and writing through confusion allows one to avoid arrogance and self-absorption, which are great risks for all first-time writings. Discovering and honing my voice to be filled with compassion, to love first, showing true empathy, I feel will keep the audience listening so they will hear the truth and love. There is value in choosing our words wisely, avoiding arrogance and self-absorption as suggested by Beha when we think only of our viewpoint as in first-person writings. When preparing my perspective posts on the touchy subject of abortion, I started from the fundamental biblical beliefs that support the sanctity of life, then choosing the empathetic viewpoints of a young unwed mother, a mother who has just found her genetic test results for her baby, and then that of the baby. My voice filled more with compassion as the circumstances actually collided with my values and beliefs. This writing exercise made me more aware of how many viewpoints there can be, and that we must be intentional with our words, as they're not simply words on a page, but there is emotion attached. Words that are filled with judgment and condemnation can hurt the already hurting. This drives away any opportunity to minister them into the kingdom. In Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 and 5, Jesus warns us to not be hypocritical or self-righteously judge others, and to first take the plank out of our own eye before we try to pick the speck of dust from our brother's eye. The more touchy a subject, the more risk for judgment. Therefore, more diligence is required to respond out of the fruits of the Spirit, being reflective and acting with self-control. Tanya James shares a lesson what writers can gain from seeing the world through different eyes in a featured article in The Atlantic. She realized, and I quote, "The catalyzing moment comes when the character and writer are sort of in sync, when you can imbue them with some aspect of yourself as a writer, even as different as they are." Jesus in his ministry epitomizes this empathy, understanding those who are hurting, living in sin, sick, suffering, and even in death, as they are always in need of compassion. Hesitation is never mentioned as he ministered to those in need. He always met the person where they are, the state which they were in, never expecting them to come up to the level that he was at before that they could receive from him. He shared the truth in love, teaching in accordance with the spiritual capacity of the learner. Finding my voice causes me to reflect on the meaning of my words and what it means to listen intently. Charles Capps, in his book, The Tongue, A Creative Force, implores us to become word conscious, as our words are a creative force. Words are like the little seeds that produce after their kind, Capps says. I want to be like the good man in Matthew 12:35. A good man out of the treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things. Engaging in this way will provide the opportunity to empathize, connect, and co-create with those in our community as we find our voice to help others find their own. Have a good evening.